Moving on to another 2:30 game. This one's actually, listen, the only reason why I'm bringing this one up is because it's interesting. We just saw this team upset a top 10 team, and now they're massive underdogs to another ACC team. I'm talking newly ranked Virginia, 24th in the country, 4-1, playing at Louisville, who is 4-0 and unranked right now. Louisville is a 6.5 point favorite with a 56% chance to win. This one, Quinn, talk to me.
Yeah, Louisville's going to win the game. Now, let me backtrack to Virginia, Florida State when we picked that last week. I said I'm picking Florida State, but I wouldn't be shocked if they lose because every year in the ACC, there's some really good team that goes on the road on a Friday night and has no business losing, and they do it anyway. And these Friday night games keep stabbing the ACC in the back. That's what ended up happening. I don't think Virginia is all that great, and I think having to go, they're not bad. Let me make that abundantly clear. But I think them and Louisville are playing on a relatively equal playing field. Virginia's coming off a big, huge emotional win at home over Florida State. I think they come in flat out at Louisville. Jeff Brom's teams are always going to be, for me, Louisville under Brom is always going to be the parameter team. I think they're the new NC State. They're in the Clemson Dabo era where they were running the ACC. NC State was kind of that barometer team who was going to win 8 to 9 games a year. And the teams that were really good would beat them, and the teams that were average or below par would lose. I think that will now be Louisville in the Jeff Brom era. And I expect Virginia to take a loss here on the road to the Cardinals.
Yeah, this has been a one-score game the last few seasons as well. I think this is going to be a really fun one, but I do think this is where the balloon gets popped a little bit for Virginia. Great job on the win, great double overtime win. You nearly almost threw the game away there, and I love Chandler Morris. I think he's done a great job, and also taking that step up from last year at North Texas, leading the country in touchdowns to making his name at Virginia a little bit. But he is a little turnover prone. You can't deny that. And Louisville, I agree a lot with Quinn. What you're sensing from them is a solid, sound defense, and then an offense that's going to be able to move the ball and score. Like, they're not going to give you 40, 50 a game most times. They're going to give you that 20 to 30 range. And once they get there, they're hoping that their defense can finish it. It's like the Alabama team in the 90s when if they scored 17, most of the time the opposing team is not going to be able to win that game. That's how Louisville feels. If they get to that 24 to 27 range, it's like, all right, our defense should do enough to where this other team can't win. I think that's what's going to happen. I think you're going to get like maybe a 24 to like 20, 24 to 17 type win here for Louisville. So, and it's also in Louisville, which makes it a lot tougher.
Yeah, I really just want to talk about this one because of Virginia's win over Florida State. Kind of want to give props to them a little bit there. But also like Louisville being 4-0 and not ranked is kind of insane to me. Normally, like at this point in the season, a team like Louisville, I mean, at least last year at this point, they were probably ranked if they started 4-0. And now they're not this year. Now, granted, I know who you play beforehand matters and all that stuff. Um, I tell you what, I really do like Virginia's offense. They kind of impressed me in that Florida State game. Now, I'm not saying that Florida State's the best team in the country, that their defense is elite or whatnot, but it's hard to know. I mean, they played 2 games against really good team, or I guess semi-decent teams in Alabama and Virginia. They dominated one and lost to the other. So I don't know what you make of that. It's still early in the year. But give me Virginia to win this game. I don't think that Louisville – you talk about Louisville's defense. I do not think that their rushing defense is going to be able to keep up with Virginia. That is one thing in that Florida State game I enjoyed watching. Was not only the offense, but it was the scheme at which they would actually run plays. Like it wasn't just a simple handoff, right? There was always movement. There was complexity in the offensive line. And I think that that's ultimately why they're such a good running team overall. But I think Virginia gets the win on the road here. Hey, tough game here. You just beat Florida State, cloud nine. You rush the field. You nearly kill somebody on the field. Like there's a lot that happened, and then you turn around and have to play another ACC game against a team that's 4-0 that really, really wants to prove themselves, and that's Louisville. So I'm kind of going out on a limb here and sticking with Virginia. I don't think that win was a fluke. I think they've got an explosive offense. I think their defense is decent enough to keep up.